Hey, thanks for joining us this evening. Did you know there are more things you don't know than you actually do? You'll get that on the way home. Hey, I'm Annette, your host here at Coaching You For You. Thanks for joining me this evening. You can see us at Coaching You For You on Facebook, on YouTube, and wherever podcasts are. Tonight, let's talk a little bit about believing people when they tell you who they are. Actions versus words. So this is a versus tonight. When you trust and believe people when they're telling you who you are, you actually empower yourself. Remember to hydrate. When you believe them for who they are and not who you want them to be, you have in fact empowered yourself. You can decide how and where there are healthy and unhealthy forces in your life by believing people when they tell you who they are. If it's a business relationship and someone says to you, I've never done business before, but I'm looking forward to doing business with you, believe them. Believe that they've never done it before and expect to experience that inexperience, taking people exactly where they are. If you're in a relationship or you're looking to be in a relationship and your partner says to you, I'm not ready, believe them because when you force the situation, you force unhealthiness for both you and your partner. Trust them when they tell you who they are. Maya Angelou spoke best about that and the experience that comes with not believing. Because guess what? I know myself better than you. You know yourself better than you. Although there'll be people who will often say to you, excuse me, I know how you think. Actually, they don't, but you do because you know who you are from the inside out. And nobody knows that better than you. And it doesn't mean that people are incapable of changing. People can change down the road, and everybody deserves a second chance. But it does not mean that when people say, this is who I am right now, you have to trust and believe that. And sometimes people will say things like that and don't believe it themselves, but you better believe it if you want to be okay. You can't expect people to say, I am single, I expect to remain single, and then expect them to be in a relationship. And sometimes people are in relationships, they think they're in relationships with others when in fact they're in relationships with themselves because the other person doesn't believe that they're in a relationship. It's not who you want people to be, it's who people actually are. Take a minute and think about that. I myself have had some pretty tough experiences because I believed in someone more than they believed in themselves. And as a direct result, I suffered. However, couldn't blame anybody but myself. I had to look inside because I was the one who, in fact, created the pain because I looked at what I expected instead of who they actually were. And that wasn't one experience. There have been others in business partnerships. where, I wanted to believe someone was capable of, building a business and helping to guide a business, when in fact the person wasn't capable of guiding their own life. I don't know what made me believe, I was a little bit younger then, that they would be capable of guiding me or guiding a business. So you got to look at people and see who they really are. And if they tell you who they are, trust that. If they show you who they are, trust that even more. Because oftentimes people cap, you know, the urban word for lying. They will cap on you and say, well, yeah, I'm ready to do this, I'm ready to do that, and I'm ready to do the other. But then you look at their life and it's a complete mess. Don't expect less. Don't expect more. Expect exactly what they tell you about who they are and what you actually see. That is, in fact, what makes the difference in family, in personal relationships, in business relationships, and in work relationships. I've had people actually say to me, I don't like people. And I didn't believe that. But they absolutely showed me that that was, in fact, the truth. I've had people tell me I don't want anything other than what I'm doing right now. And because I saw great potential, I thought they were capable of doing more, when in fact, they weren't. I learned a lesson there. And in every situation and in every instance, when I fail to pay attention, this is my experience I'm talking about, and or accept people right where they are, it is not only challenging, but often painful. And so tonight, I want to wish women all over the world a happy Women's History Month. I'd also like to suggest that we do more as a tell us, as opposed to what we actually see them do. So, see, this can be challenging because I'm telling you, when folks tell you who they are, believe them. When they show you, believe them even more. You have to learn how to balance that. Everything in our life requires balance. And so, taking away from this today, I'd like you to know that, again, there are more things you don't know than you do. And when you believe when somebody tells you who they are, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you actually empower yourself. And number three, when they show you, that's even more powerful. You know, I want you to know tonight that you are the most perfect person that you are. And every day, there's an opportunity to grow and learn. We learn from the cradle to the grave. That's my belief. Some of you may think different in that you've learned as much as you're going to learn. I believe I have so much more to learn. I have more to learn than I already know. That's a fact. Be good to yourself. Be good to the people who share their space and time with you. Listen, learn to listen and listen to learn, to not listen to respond. That's a trap. When somebody tells you who they are, believe it. You deserve to surround yourself with healthy people. And guess what else? You don't have to be perfect to be healthy. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing. And remember this above all else, people know themselves far better than you do. That's a fact. I want to thank you for joining me here tonight at Coaching You for You. We have some amazing things coming your way. If you are interested, stay tuned. You've got everything you need. When people tell you who they are, believe it. You will empower yourself beyond anything you can imagine. They won't always be comfortable with it because they like to switch up. But believe them when they tell you. Don't make people tell you who they are more than once. Have a good evening. And again, thanks for joining.